Hey everyone, it's Brett from Hope to Prosper. I'm here with Maria at Yellowstone Lake in Yellowstone National Park. And we just spent 2 days in Yellowstone. It's been amazing. Old Faithful, stayed at the Old Faithful Inn, everything. It's been wonderful. Okay, I'll let you know what I have on my mind. Thanks for coming along.
I want to talk today about enjoying your retirement to the fullest. I just came back from an amazing vacation with my wife, and I'm kind of on a retirement high right now. Travel is just one of the many fun things I like to do for my retirement. We also like to do simpler things or smaller things like walk to breakfast, hit a happy hour, go to a Taco Tuesday. Just walking to breakfast was a great way to start our day. So we're taking advantage of all this free time to accomplish all the things that matter in our lives. And I don't intend to sit around or watch TV and just get bored in retirement. And I got to say, over the last 20 months, it's been anything but boring. In fact, it's kind of been nonstop. And I often wish I had more time just to accomplish things I haven't even gotten to yet. So let's talk about my retirement bucket list. I created a bucket list. Back then I called it an adventure bucket list. About a year before I retired. And I was thinking of all these things I wanted to do, so I went and wrote them down. And I post it now on my website, Hope to Prosper, and I update it as I complete all these adventures. So I'll put a link in the description below just in case anyone wants to check it out. But anyways, I was having trouble completing my adventures when I worked because, number one, I had limited time for vacation. And then even when I was on vacation, I was always on call, so I was always getting interrupted. But now that I'm retired, man, I have plenty of time, and I'm chewing through my bucket list at a pretty good pace. We had a little break in there where my wife's leg was broken, but now we've picked it back up. And my goal is to complete the current list in my 60s and then update it with new objectives that are probably more suitable for my 70s. So that's what I'm up to right now. And I'm about halfway through most of these things, and I'm pretty proud of that, and I'm pretty happy about it. So I guess the big question is, do you need a bucket list for your retirement? Is that something you've thought about? And to be honest, I have no idea what you need, but I'm throwing it out there. Everybody's different and might not be necessary for you at all. You may not even want to go on a bunch of crazy adventures like me. You may just want to sit around and relax. I've noticed a lot of people on YouTube just doing that and enjoying it. But what I've found in my life is that I need to make goals and I need to write them down if I ever want to achieve anything. And if I don't have goals or a list or a bucket list or something, time just seems to roll by and nothing ever gets done. And so that's why I've done it, and that's why I recommend it. In my life, time's way too precious to just let slip away. Right now, especially because I'm retired, I have the freedom, I have the means, and I'm in the young and healthy phase of my retirement, and I certainly don't want to let all this slip away and then wind up being old and not healthy enough to do anything. Oh, and by the way, I just want to say, welcome to my channel, and if you enjoy watching my videos, please think about subscribing. My name's Brett, and this channel is about early retirement skills and adventures. If you're retired or you're even just thinking about retiring, you're in the right place, so welcome. Next, let's talk about time bucket your life. I got this concept from the book Die With Zero. I read it a couple months back, and there wasn't a lot of new stuff in it, but this is one of my favorite little nuggets that I got out of the book. Chapter 7 recommends people time bucket their lives or their retirement because some of the things you like to do in retirement are going to get more difficult, if not impossible, as you get older. And I was already thinking about this concept when doing some of the more strenuous hikes I have planned. 2 of these hikes already seem like they might be out of range for me, and I'm kind of bummed out about that. And so the others I need to get hiking on soon. They're still in my range right now, but 5-10 years from now, they probably won't be. So what I did was I reordered my existing bucket list. Instead of creating a time bucket, I just reordered it, and I put the most strenuous things up at the front. And the sooner I get going on the tougher tasks, the more likely I am to complete them. And the longer I wait, the more likely I'll have to skip them in the future, and I don't want to miss the opportunity for that. if it's in my wheelhouse right now, I need to go for it, and that's what I'm doing. Next, let's talk about knowing your limits. I do some pretty crazy things in retirement that could have some big health consequences for me. I still like to hike, surf, and ride dirt bikes. I used to ride mountain bikes a lot, and I got beat up a couple times doing that. But I know I could easily get injured doing them, and I'm just unwilling to give them up. I just still want to do it. I can still do it. And the big eye-opener for me was I'm about to go to a celebration of life in a couple weeks for a friend of mine, and he died of a heart attack on the beach after surfing at Trestles. He literally paddled out of the water, laid on the sand, and died right there. And so that kind of makes me nervous about paddling out when it's big. We all think we're bulletproof, but, how high is your heart rate going when you have to punch through a big set? So that's just surfing. I'm also riding dirt bikes. And, I'm a lot more careful than I used to be in my 30s and 40s, but, man, I still feel the need for speed in 60s and in my 60s, and I don't want to fly off that dirt bike going, full speed. I can't. My body probably can't handle that now. So both my uncles gave up their dirt bikes at 70, and I'm hoping to ride for another decade. One of my uncles had a hip problem. By the way, both my uncles were fantastic riders, better than I have ever been. And one of them had a hip problem, and he couldn't kick his leg over the bike anymore. And I used to start his bike for him so he could crawl onto it and we could ride. And then my other uncle had a bad crash and got all busted up, just tore up his shoulder, so he had to quit. But anyways, so I'm thinking about those things right now. And I'm thinking about my time, but I'm also thinking about my limits and, how to get through retirement in one piece so I can do some of the other things I enjoy doing. So let's wrap it up. In conclusion, I don't know how many creative new ways I can come up with to say this, but time and health are major factors in retirement. The clock is ticking, and our health is deteriorating every day as we age. In some cases, our health can go away in an instant. My wife and I both found that out when we had problems with our legs this year. And my wife was down for basically about 6 to 8 months, and I was down for about 2 or 3. And thankfully, I'm better now, and she's on the mend. But it was an eye-opener how quickly life can change for us. So, anyways, if you have anything you want to do that's truly important for you in your retirement, I suggest you do it as soon as possible. I hate to see you lose your opportunity to do that and have your retirement dreams stolen by the thief of time or health. So, anyways, thanks everyone for coming along this week. I hope you enjoyed the footage of Yellowstone National Park. I say this every week, but man, my wife and I had a blast. And if you get a chance, here's a pro tip for you. If you go to a national park and you get a chance to stay in the lodge, I know it's super expensive, but man, just pay the extra money and go for it. It was a lifetime experience for us. Instead of having to drive out of the park and stay in some hotel and drive back, I got to sit on the sun deck and watch Old Faithful blow out right there in front of me while I was drinking a cup of coffee. So it's worth the extra money. So I wish you all health, happiness, and prosperity in your lives. And I'll see you next week when we post our footage of the Grand Tetons. I hope you'll enjoy that as well.